The stories shared on the Busy Baddies are submitted by real listeners and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. To protect the privacy of everyone involved, all names, companies, and identifying details have been changed or omitted. Any resemblance to real people or events are purely coincidental. We believe in keeping it real while keeping it respectful. Thank you for sharing your experiences and for trusting us to spill the tea with care. Welcome back, baddies. We're Michelle and Melissa, and this is season 3 of the Busy Baddies. If the last year has taught us anything, it's this: being busy isn't the same as building the life that you actually want. We've experienced unexpected endings, incredible new beginnings, heartbreaking losses, career pivots, and moments that forced us to ask ourselves one simple question: what really matters?
This season, we're having the conversations everyone needs, but not enough people are willing to have: leadership, reinvention, confidence, failure, success, boundaries, faith, business, relationships, and the messy middle that connects it all. We're bringing you the honest conversations, inspiring guests, plenty of laughs, a few uncomfortable truths, and hopefully the encouragement you need to take your own next step.
So grab your coffee or your cocktail, because whether you're driving to work, walking the dog, or hiding in your office pretending you're on another Zoom call,
We're so glad you're here. This is the Busy Baddies, where busy women become better women. Let's get into it.
Okay, welcome back, baddies.
Season 3.
I know. Has everybody had a good summer? I feel like it's been a really good break.
Yeah, I feel a little out of body experience that here we are, season 3 of what was just a random thought.
Yeah, a fun side project. It's actually been more fun than we thought. And
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to see it even evolve. I was listening back, gosh, I think it was a couple weeks ago, to like season 1,
Mhm.
and to even think about topics and stuff. It's been really fun to kind of just see the way that it's evolved.
Yeah, see our growth.
Followers.
Yeah, I mean, I've still get asked about the podcast. Are you doing it? How's it going? And I was like, well, obviously you're not listening, so screw you. But we're trekking along. We're
Right.
still in the spare bedroom at the Andre's house, and we're having a blast.
That's right. We were on a break, not the friends type break, but
yeah, just time to spend with family, with friends,
vacation.
Vacations. And I think for us in our roles, the job never stops. So even though this is a fun outlet for us, it also obviously takes up time. And
it does.
And so we're glad to be back. We have another incredible season.
Yep.
And what are we talking about today?
We got lots of stuff to talk about this season, but we're going to kick it off with, I think Michelle and I both have been asked this question. I know I have several times, but a lot of people always want to know what the best way is to build trust with EAs and even maximize the relationship. And I always have immense respect for people who ask that question, because it means that they not only value it, but they value whoever it is in that role that they need to work with.
Absolutely. And I think it shows vulnerability. I think it shows respect and an understanding that no matter who that person is that's trying or needing to build trust, or maybe it's a new role and now you have to work with each other, and showing them that you care enough to figure out how to build the trust, how to make the relationship good, and together do the job you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and I think to a lot of people out there who maybe aren't EAs, or maybe a listener who has a different role, that supports a senior leader who, they're kind of your customer and you have to work closely with that EA. I feel like this could be a very valuable, episode for you, because I think there's a lot of tips and tricks. And I would say the first one is, there is a unspoken language expectation. There is lists that we keep as a group of people of people we would work for, people we wouldn't work for. We look out for each other. We talk about things because it's very relatable amongst us. So I think there's a lot of different ways that we can go with this, but I think the biggest thing is being vulnerable enough to find out who it is that's in the person that you are working with as the EA circle, and approaching people who know them very well and saying, okay, let's say Michelle very well, what would you feel would be helpful for me to know in building trust with that person? Because what Michelle needs for trust or respect is going to be completely different than what I need.
Yeah. And I think too that there is a little bit, I hope there's not much of this anymore, but I feel like we have the stereotype that we're not maybe easy to get along with, or we're stuck up, or we're not approachable, or all of the things, which I find very unfortunate.
Agreed.
Because I feel probably, I would say, I'm sure in the past 20 years that has changed.
Yes.
I would venture to say that 20 plus years ago, maybe that was exactly the stereotype of executive admins, because I think the workplace was very different back then. And I think you probably had to have walls up. You had to be guarded.
Yep.
And just that alone, I think, changes the way I would approach this question.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everybody's different. And so I do think that first, I would say to build trust is, number one, be your authentic self.
Yes.
Like, if this is our first interaction and we're trying to learn each other, like, don't come at me being fake.
Right.
Because you're going to have to be that fake person then for the rest of our working relationship.
Yes.
So I don't want to get to know the fake person. I want you to come authentic and just be you.
And we have been unformally trained human bullshit detectors. Like, we sniff that out 9 times out of 10 for our leaders. So we are gonna know if you are being inauthentic or if you are just blowing smoke up our skirts, so to speak. To get exactly what it is that you want, because you think sweet talk is going to work.
Oh, no question. I mean, I think we need shirts that say bullshit detector. Because I do think that for a lot of people that they still will always put on a fake persona because that's what they think is going to get like the meeting that they want or the job that they want. But at the end of the day, you can't sustain that for a long time.
No, and I think that's a really valid point, because I think some of that also comes into play depending on the person that you support in the company as well. And unfortunately for you, that is going to be the case more often than it's not with the CEO, because people are always going to come with their A game, well prepared, well versed. This is how I need to talk. This is what I need to say. So that it's unfortunate, because I'm like you. I think authenticity is priceless. I think I even did a post on this earlier this summer about it, because I believe to my core, the truer that you are is yourself, you can never go wrong.
No.
Like, there's nothing wrong with being you. You are always going to be too much or too little for someone, or too abrasive. And I've even given this advice before, is assume positive intent and assume that it has nothing to do with you.
Right.
You know, if I'm having a bad day, it has nothing to do with you. It's that my boss is being horrible.
Yeah.
They're taking their frustrations out on me. I'm then going to take it out on you, but it really has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
You're making it personal.
Yeah.
So, we are naturally people pleasers, I believe. So it is not in us to want to be vicious or mean, and I'm not saying some people aren't like that.
No,
I've interacted with them. So.
Yeah, and we're also, I know I am for sure, is I am and will always be the face of my boss.
Yes.
And so to hold that, and it can be heavy at times.
Absolutely.
Because say I am just having a bad day.
Which you're allowed to have.
Which I'm allowed to have. But I know, there's a customer coming in, and I know, I got to flip that switch on, even though it's something that I'm just not up for doing. And so I see that as the same of somebody coming to me. We all have bad days, and maybe the first interaction we're having, you aren't your best self today for whatever reason. But that also kind of goes into the second part of authenticity, is also just being honest.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah. And trust me, I've had to come tail tucked, apologize to people and say, hey, because I go back and play it in my mind, wow, I came across as really harsh, and that is never my intent, because that's not who I am.
Yes.
So how do I go and I make that right? I talk to that person and I'm like, hey, do you have a second to connect? And then they're like, yes, we'll either hop on Zoom or meet downstairs or wherever. And I'll be like, hey, I know that the interaction with you to me was less than subpar. I apologize for that. The excuse doesn't matter, because it doesn't negate the fact that I made you feel a certain way. I apologize for that.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that. I also had, this was back in June. So we were having our officers in. So we have about 50
top leaders.
Yep, top leaders. They were coming in for a 2-day on-site, and I work very closely with our comms folks and hospitality and all of the people to make it a wonderful 2 days, right? Yep. I was in one of our last meetings to just make sure we had everything covered, and I was sitting in a room, and we ended up talking about something that I wasn't, I guess, I didn't know at the time. So it was kind of a surprise to me, and which was fair. I think there was a little bit of oh, okay. And I immediately felt myself get defensive. I was like, why didn't I know this? Now we're 2 days before, and this, that, and the other. I mean, no big deal. We carried on, moved to a next thing, whatever. So the meeting is over. I go back up to my desk, and I'm sitting there, and I just had a pit in my stomach, because I knew that I was short, and I felt like I owed the people in that room an apology. I just didn't feel great about the conversation that we had. And my husband will gladly attest to this, that I am extremely stubborn. I will hold a grudge.
You're
bring
human.
it on.
You're human. Yes.
But so for me, knowing that about myself, when I walked upstairs and had that pit in my stomach, I knew that if I was already getting this feeling that I was not my best self, and apologized to both of them, and everything was fine. But I think when you're trying to build trust with an EA or anybody, honestly, you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and call yourself on your own bullshit, right?
Absolutely.
You were totally in the wrong. And, I get in communication, things in our roles are happening so fast, and maybe they didn't even it wasn't even a big deal. That's the crazy thing, is at the end of the day, whatever this was that kind of just really struck a nerve with me was not a big deal.
No, but those things can turn in. So in all fairness, I see the flip side of that, and I think that's another really good valid point to make is, I think if you're a person who interacts, to your point, like a comms person or a, an event person or whoever it is, I think always keeping in the back of your gray matter, okay, how is this going to affect them? They're going to be expected to execute this. I should over communicate with them because they need to know all the details. Oversharing is not a problem.
No,
if you start sharing too much, we'll be like, wait.
Yeah.
Wait till you
We're in the weeds.
Yes. We don't want to get in the weeds, but come back to me when you have pretty much a half or 3/4 baked plan, and then I'll be happy to come in and help where I can, because I think what people don't understand is it's not that we want to take over what it is that you're doing. It's that we want to be included because we look at it through a completely different lens than what you're going to look at it from whatever department or customer service aspect you're coming from.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And I think everybody can easily forget, and that applies to any role also. And so when you're in a team, or you're trying to work with an EA, I mean, we have our boss hat on of what are they going to think, what are their preferences, timing, what's before this, what's after this, like there's so many other things circling in our minds that person, whether it's on our team or they're handling a specific item for an event, like you only have your blinders on to the one thing that you're responsible for. And we have to look at the whole picture. And I don't think that most people think about that. And that's how I think we can get the stereotyping of like, we're being jerks or this, that, and the other. It's like, we really aren't. We just are thinking about so many other things.
Yes, and from totally different angles, because not only for the people that we're interacting with, but even for our bosses. Like I have sat in staff meetings before, and I know I greatly appreciate having that seat at the table and having the ability to speak up and say stuff, because I think it is a valuable viewpoint, because there's some things that people that are way at the top are just not going to think down to that level of it's going to get overlooked. It's going to be missed. It's going to be a population of people that they don't really care about that. Well, it does. So I think it's an all-encompassing kind of cycle that can kind of come out of that.
Yeah. And I think also, and I know this applies for me, specifically talking of how to build trust, is I think listening.
Yes.
I've been with, my boss now for almost 14 years.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that I know.
Yes.
Her preferences, what she likes. And don't get me wrong. I mean, she could always have a weird day that she's just going to want the exact opposite of what I think she's going to want.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. But I think for me, it's very hard when I am brought in on stuff and I'm getting asked for my opinion, and then I give it, and then it just feels like
it's totally the way.
Like did you listen to me? And so I have a really hard time when I feel like I'm not valued. And then I just kind of pull away, and then stop asking me. You do it, and then when something doesn't go right, you can't. And my boss says, well, didn't you go over this with Michelle or whatever? And it's like, no, you didn't. Or I tried saying that you should have did this and this happened. And so, for me, it's like, I want to feel like my input matters. Not that you're just asking me to check the box. Like, I asked, but it doesn't matter.
Because that's respect. And I think what a lot of people take for granted is that we have a different lens into the leaders that we support, their personal lives, things that could be going on that are very problematic, or topics that could be sensitive because of a situation they're in the middle of, or, we know what they're navigating, not only in the corporate world, but at home as well.
Right.
As a parent, as a spouse, as a, all these different things that they are. And there could just be some things that you're not going to be aware of that I'm going to, and I'm going to bring that lens without voicing what it is that's going on with
and we
them.
shouldn't have to.
No.
I feel like, you know, I wish more people took those cues.
Yes.
And I, thinking back to, you know, I'm supposed to be the representative.
Yes.
Like, I always end up oversharing because I want them to understand, like, it's not her just saying, no, she doesn't want to do that, or she's too busy, or, you know, but at the bottom line is she's getting paid to run a company.
Yes.
And that's what matters the most.
Yes.
So
stock prices, being held accountable to the board.
And it's like, so, and I, as her EA of so many years, I know what sucks, like the juice out of her. I know what fills her cup. And so, although it may be a very valid request, I think for a lot of things, it's the timeline of when that thing they want done, or the meeting has to happen. And so we're trying to navigate that.
Right.
Because we have all of the info. We have the big picture. And it's like, no, we're going into earnings or, you know, a board meeting. Like, she doesn't need to do that one thing because it's not, it doesn't
move the wheel.
Like it just, it doesn't. And so I just wish we had a little more grace from people, as, you know, all of the demands that are never ending come in.
Yeah. And I think that is a really good point that you made about, I think all of us to our core, if we're being very honest, we want to feel like our opinion matters. It carries weight. And that you respect us enough to listen and or do your best to implement, because it's not, we want it our way. We want it our boss's way.
Right.
So thinking through the flip side of that and what we just talked about, I'm wondering if there is a way that the leader plays a part in this as well, in building trust, you know, people respecting your opinion, respecting your voice. I tend to err on the side of yes, because I think your leader sets the tone for how people treat you. And people certainly watch how your boss interacts with you. If they respect you, if they take your opinion, if you can speak up around them. Like, I think that kind of plays into that.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I think there is nobody else that sets that precedent for you. And I also think how the leader themselves portrays themselves, how they run the team, how they run the company. I think there's a lot to say about that. And being a authentic leader themselves, I personally feel like my boss has absolutely set the tone of how important my voice is, how important my opinion matters. And very much shows in our daily interactions at work, around the team, when we're together in staff meetings, at boards. I mean, I don't ever feel like that there is anything left to question about how my boss and I
That's wonderful.
work.
Yeah, that's great. And I think sadly some people don't experience that, because I know I had that experience with my leader who retired, and I still do some fractional stuff with her on the side on a very limited basis, but she's trying to get a business off the ground. She, you know, wants to do all these different projects and things, and she's technically not retired is what I'm saying.
Are they ever? I mean, when you get up to the C-suite, are they ever really retired?
And she's just such a powerhouse. Like, I knew she would never just like sit there and like watch the sunrise and set. But it was so funny because, you know, it was not that long ago she reached out and she said, I want to put a website together for my new business. And, you know, the person that I'm working with on this sent me some examples. Can you look them over and give me your feedback on what you think of what she sent? And then also send me some examples of what you feel is my style. And it was like, I told my husband, I was like, I know that probably wouldn't mean anything to someone, but to me,
I would feel honored.
Yes. And I was like, that to me was like another validating thing of like, wow, what a gem of a leader that even though I am not still her EA, she still values my opinion in the personal side of life.
Yep.
And even picked up the phone 2 or 3 days later and said, hey, I met with the website person. We're going to do a merriment of none of the ones that she sent me, but 2 of the ones that you sent. And then I want you to be involved. And then she was talking about, and I even put in the thing, I was like, but looking at some of these like websites, like, I think you need to do like a newsletter, like a podcast, and like here I am adding all this extra shit.
She was like, wait, I just wanted you to look at my website. I didn't want you to add work. Like I'm doing that all on my own.
And she said, what was funny is she said, Melissa, I got the exact same thing from that, and even have on my notebook that I'm sitting here looking at after you wrote that. She's like, I totally agree that a newsletter and the podcast is the next most important thing. So it's like, I think sometimes people don't ever experience in that, but it's like, oh my gosh, like when people really get that, and I think work on it.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, and this can obviously apply beyond EA and leader.
Yes.
And I know we have a very unique space in the workplace, but I mean, I've had previous leaders that I was not in a executive EA role by any means. And I feel like we were just as close with the trust and being able to just be ourselves and just build that relationship. And I'm trying to, I guess, think that if that is like everybody's cup of tea. Right? I'm like, I have to really think of like, is it just because of me, my personality? Because I certainly know, obviously, I'm not introverted. I like people. And so it's very hard to be like, okay, well, if I was introverted, could I have just as good of a relationship with my bosses? And then the only person I personally am close to that's the exact opposite of me is my husband. And I think sometimes like talking about my boss like I do, and we text after work and we text on the weekend, and he's like, I've never had one boss and that I've like we're sending pictures of what we're doing on the weekend and all of those things. And it's hard for me. So is that a female thing? Is it an extroverted thing? So for those of you listening that are introverted, you know, maybe we have a few male listeners. Like, I really want to know, like, are you out there having the same great relationship with your bosses? Or is it us, like, extroverted people that just, like, want to be friends with everybody? Because I want everybody to like me. Like, I also don't like confrontation or feeling like I've done something wrong.
Atypical
or somebody
people pleaser.
So
and I like sitting there like with you talking about that, I was like people don't have a choice with me. So like I'm the total opposite. I'm very aggressive and abrasive when it comes to like, this is the way that I think. This is the way that I feel. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking and what I feel. And I think that, to your point, is why her and I hit it off, because that also was part of the downside of her to so many other people that supported her, because it came across as abrasive, aggressive, and it scared some people. And I think that is where, again, where we've touched on this multiple times, is that the personality match really has to be there as well. And I think, you know, people who are trying, again, to build trust with the EAs and maximize the relationship, put in the back of your mind, what is the relationship that this EA has with her boss? You know, some people say, oh, when I look at so-and-so, I know that they're in the room because I see you in there. So I think some people have that different dynamic, but I think definitely asking yourself the question, like, who is the greatest resource that I can tap into? And it's definitely the EA.
Yeah, and I mean, and you made a good point that just like popped into my mind is coming to an EA, you have to understand like what they are.
Yep.
And being atypical
Yep.
people pleaser, like you have to come with the understanding that if you're going to come to them,
Yep.
ask for their opinion, and then it fall on deaf ears, that's probably not going to go over well just because of the nature of who most EAs are.
No, and to me, I think it goes back to as well your point of if I don't feel respect, validated, heard, and valued, you showed me that one time and I'm never going to let you show me that again.
Yeah.
So the next time that you circle back to me, you're not going to get anything that's valuable out of me because I saw what you did with that the first time.
Yeah.
And you did nothing. You disregarded it. You did whatever it is that you wanted. And that doesn't sit well with me because I wouldn't do that to you as a professional of whatever, area that you're in.
Yeah.
I would never go to a comms person and say, how do I put a comms plan together for this if I'm trying to help with X, Y, and Z? And then you send me 10 examples and then I go out on ChatGPT and have it help me give me one. Well, why did I invest my time in you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's valid.
So I think people also need to learn that, the second time that you come back around, you may think somebody's being a complete a-hole or, not helpful or, hard to work with when really it's your fault because of the way that you took the information the first time and just totally disregarded it.
Yeah, and I think that's a valid point in anything role.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I guess if you have maybe made an opinion on somebody, like maybe you ought to like rewind a little bit and start thinking
what
like
part did I play in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it boils down to be a good human being.
RESPCT. Right?
Yeah. Respect.
Yes.
Be authentic.
Yes.
Just don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Mutual respect.
Yes.
We're always out here just trying to do the best for ourselves, for our boss.
Yep.
You're trying to do the best job that you've been asked to do.
Yeah. Because your lane is not my lane.
Right.
I'm good at being an EA. You're good at being a communicator. You're good at being a event coordinator.
Yeah.
Everybody has their strong suits.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be you. You definitely don't want to be me. So, I mean, let's just all play nice in the sandbox, I guess is what I would say.
Yeah,
and respect goes a very long way with executive assistants, in my opinion.
Yes. And maybe chocolate,
coffee,
tickets to things. No, I'm just kidding. We don't need to be bribed.
Swag.
No. But we'll take all of said bribes.
Yes.
But no, I mean,
yeah.
It's season 3.
It is.
We're stoked to be back.
So excited.
We're glad to have you here.
Some fun topics. If there's anything that you've been thinking about since you've not been hearing our voices every week, please drop it in the comments. Send us a message. Let us know what you want to hear. If there's someone you'd like us to talk to.
Yeah, and if you have this like burning topic and you are totally okay putting your voice, like
we would love to have you.
Raise your hand.
Absolutely.
We're ready to get some asses in the seats with us. We feel pretty good, like we got this shit figured out. And
we want to give a voice to people to speak to the things that they're really passionate about. And I feel like a lot of you have a lot of things to say, but you maybe don't have the platform. This is your invitation. You never need to ask. Let us know what you want to talk about. When you want to do it, we'll book it on the schedule and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, for sure.
So season 3 is going to be bigger, badder, better.
Busier.
Bigger, better, busier.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But we're stoked.
Yes, we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
That's it for us today, bringing order to corporate chaos.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that follow button.
Yours truly, Melissa
and Michelle,
the Biz-y Baddies.